Welcome to the Checkered Chat. I'm Justin.
I'm Blake.
And we had a awesome, not street course, road course weekend this weekend. Sonoma. SVG goes back-to-back.
Zillich gets his win.
Zillich wins. I mean, it's going to be, I feel like just every road course now is just going to be, for the rest of the season, obviously, I think it's going to be SVG versus everybody. And then next season, if Zillich comes up to Cup, it's going to just be...
God, I want to see that so bad now. Because, they raced each other very hard, very aggressively, but, with respect still.
Yeah.
And it was just really good because, you didn't just have SVG running away.
Mm-hmm.
You had Zillich there, and then at times you still had Sam Mayer in the conversation.
Yeah, no, it was.
Which also give Chase Briscoe his flowers.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was wild.
Yeah, definitely.
Martin Truex's setup and having James Small teach him how Truex ran, I think really.
That was his first top 5 on a road course,
and that was what he even said was his worst track. On the whole schedule.
I mean, that's nuts. I mean, he finished good. He did really good. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit more in the top 10 and everything. But I mean, there were some people in there. I mean, freaking Kyle Busch. I mean, finishing 10th.
Yeah, and then he's really good at the street course. So
which is just. I'm not going to say it's bizarre, but it
kind of
is at the same time.
I saw too with Zillich. I saw a TikTok that talked about I forget what his average finish before being before missing the one race from an injury at Talladega.
Oh yeah,
but since coming back, his average finish is 2.4.
Yeah, no, he's been doing really good since then. I listened to an interview with him this week. He was on Corey LaJoy's podcast talking about all the stuff they did after his injury. He got his seat remolded because he said that he's I naturally kind of slouch.
Oh.
So it was molded to a slouch.
Okay.
And he's it literally, my back maybe moved an inch, but it was enough to
hurt.
Yeah. And that's what really screwed him up for sure. I mean, and he was talking about how awkward it was being in victory lane with Larson driving his car. And he's do I hang out? Do I go up there? What do I do?
Yeah.
But yeah, so every week, we come to you guys with some news from the last episode to now, and that's where we're going now. So, our favorite Xfinity driver of all time is out of a ride. Who'da thunk it? Chris Wright is out of a ride, effective immediately. Cosgralla will be replacing him at Dover.
They mutually parted ways, and if you're not watching, I had air quotes on that.
Yeah, I think it was, hey, we're sick of you wrecking our stuff. Or making dumb decisions, too.
Which, I will say, I wonder, in all honesty, not even being funny, how many fewer overtimes will we have from Chris Wright?
Not being.
Yeah, or, less just dumb cautions sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure.
But he will always live on in infamy for Daytona this year.
Oh, my gosh. That was so bad.
Would have been so funny because it was Josh Bilicki that he almost, just... Well, I mean, he did really mess that car up. What if they'd have been okay, we're replacing you with Josh Bilicki, get out.
Yeah. Josh Bilicki puts on Twitter, sayonara, mother... or something like that. But, yeah, so that's happening. And then... We're living in a parallel timeline where Advance Auto Parts sponsors Josh Berry.
Have fun, spotters.
Yeah, I mean, literally, Blaney's number reversed.
Yeah, same font.
Literally.
Pretty much.
The same car, just...
21 rather than 12.
Yeah,
That's going to take a minute to, while watching the race, be oh, wait, that's not Blaney. Okay, cool, gotcha.
Watch him go head first into the wall.
Well, it's not a super speedway.
That's true. You have a point. But, yes.
But if he DNFs, then we have to talk about...
Advance Auto Parts is cursed.
Yeah.
Basically. So there was that. Kathleen Legg adds Indy and Watkins Glen and Vegas to Cup starts for her for the rest of the season.
And then one thing we didn't put, it's not really news, but like if you watch the race on Sunday, the pre-race, and you saw where they talked to Cody Ware about the whole incident at the street course, and they showed all the different in-cars.
Yeah.
That was wild.
I mean, watching the steering wheel break in.
Which, it's supposed to do that.
Yes, but
like, seeing that happen and how he moved and everything, like, the seat cracked. He can no longer use the helmet anymore because all the foam in the helmet was damaged. His Hans cracked.
Yeah.
Like, they pretty much said there was no saving that car. They're just going to rebuild it and make it a show car.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't know of many next-gen wrecks where the car was a complete and total loss and you couldn't even spare some parts off of it to rebuild another car with.
No, that was nuts to hear.
And then they still waited like 45 seconds to throw a caution.
Yeah.
Sick.
Consistency. We cry out.
Hey, they were
week.
very consistent on being awful at
Yeah,
Dakota.
I
meant, God,
at
at
Chicago.
the street course.
Yeah. Too many road courses. No,
Just
I'm joking.
Jumbled.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that was pretty nuts to hear all that. I mean, like you said, there really hasn't been anything in next-gen history like that.
Yeah, because, I mean, even, like, you think about Larson's wreck at Atlanta last year where he came back down and, and Briscoe hit him. Like, the whole back of the car is probably done for, but the cage itself is probably still fine. The chassis, for the most part, is probably good. You can reuse body parts off the front. Like,
yeah.
But that one...
Nothing.
No. Safety-wise, nothing. I mean, the body, they're going to make a show car out of, but like...
True. Now we're getting into the fun part that's also literally developing as we were eating dinner before this. So, basically, earlier this week, the whole 2311 Front Row Motorsports versus NASCAR charter legal deal, all that good stuff, in that realm. Basically, it was put out that if charters were revoked, 2311 and Front Row may have to repay money from the first 20 races.
That would be crazy.
And then if they're revoked, 2311 was going to run as open cars.
And I'm going to just assume that Front Row is going to do the same.
Yeah, the only thing, I'm pulling that from Denny's podcast, but I would assume that pretty much everything like 2311 is going to do, Front Row will probably do.
Yeah, because, it feels like one's Ford, one's Toyota.
Yeah.
They don't have alliances, obviously, but like it feels like what one does, the other is doing when it comes to the lawsuit and everything. Like they're kind of in it together, so I feel like now that the charters have officially been revoked.
Yeah, as of 20 minutes ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Which NASCAR did say that they will not be selling any of the 6 revoked charters until all of this is cleared up, which is smart, because could you imagine how awkward it would be if they started selling off all 6 charters and then come December when everything gets wrapped up in the off season and they're like, hey, so we actually are going to side with 2311 and Front Row, so you're going to have to refund everybody, tell people that they no longer have that ride anymore, they no longer have that extra charter, and then it's just all this for nothing.
Yeah. So the charters have been officially repossessed.
Yeah, they missed their car note, and
the
repo man came and got it.
My dad, at the ripe age of 19, came rolling up and repoed Bubba Wallace's car. That's a funny thought, but yeah. So this in turn brings out who will arguably be one of the biggest free agents
since Larson.
I would say since, Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
In Reddick's contract, he has to have a charter.
Yeah.
To be able for the team to stay on there.
Yeah.
So
he can get out of the 2311 contract if they do not have a chartered ride for him next year.
Yeah. So that could in turn end up seeing Reddick being a free agent for next year or in the off season.
Which I don't know of a team that wouldn't at least knock on the door and see what it would take to get him there.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
I mean, I think Chevy teams will. I don't know how much Chevy would love that, just the way that he left RCR and Chevy and everything. But, I mean, I think you wouldn't be doing yourself a favor if you didn't try.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you have a talent like Reddick, I mean, granted, he hasn't shown up as much this season. But
if you think about it, 2311 hasn't either.
In general, yeah.
I mean, you got to think not to just, give him out or anything, but like this whole lawsuit thing has to be weighing over his head, Bubba's head.
Oh yeah.
Riley Hurst,
that whole
everybody.
team, and it shows in the way that they're performing.
Yeah.
I mean, Bubba can't seal the deal,
which I feel like that's kind of been his career so far.
That's true. You have a point there. That could just be his deal.
Because like if you look at the street course, that was a good day. They're on the bubble for the playoffs, and then because he wanted to hold Bowman up and kind of lose his head there for a second and race Bowman way harder than he should have, and he should have just conceded the position, stayed where he could, and finished the day good. He chose not to, and then that doesn't in turn like that. There's a shot he still makes the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah. No, I mean, for sure, but
it's just, small things like that.
Yeah. It's, you have that. You have Reddick, who hasn't had, I mean, he's definitely shown glimpses this season, for sure.
I mean, before Chase won, the only two that you could say for sure, unless there were 16 winners that were going to point their way in and there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it, was Chase and Reddick. And they were relatively close in points also.
But also, like, last season at this point, Reddick only won one race.
He won
season.
Talladega.
That was it. Okay. And that was just almost happenstance that he won that race.
Because Michael McDowell threw a ridiculous block and
Corey LaJoie finished on the fence. And,
and Hocevar finished underneath him. And you had... It was either going to be McDowell or Keselowski, honestly, that were going to win that race. And then here comes the Michael Jordan 45 car.
The Benz logo. Yeah. That was...
just rolling through.
Yeah. I know a lot of people kind of hate on that scheme. I like it. I think it's cool.
I just like that they kind of incorporate shoe colorways into cars.
Yeah. That's one thing if 2311... Well, they couldn't do this if they were an open team, I don't think, because they would need sponsorship money. I would run instead of one of your cars being every week a Monster Energy car, I would run one of your cars as a Jordan brand car every week.
Yeah.
And let it just cycle, Riley 1 week, Tyler 1 week, Bubba 1 week. You've got 23,000 different colorways of Jordan 1s.
Yeah.
Use them. I mean, like, the shattered backboard scheme for Chicago was super cool. The Chicago ones last year, when they were, like, kind of the Japanese-looking, sort of anime-looking kind of thing, those look cool. Like, all of the Jordan stuff.
You had Unbannable.
Unbannable was dope. Like, I mean, you just go down the list of them. But, and then on our last hand for 2311, you have Riley Hurst, who's a rookie and is doing rookie things. We can just leave it at that.
Yeah. And then, like, on the front row side of it, obviously you feel bad for all 6 drivers that are kind of getting screwed over in this.
They're just being yanked around like rag dolls.
Like, Noah Gragson has not had one season in the Cup Series so far. Like, every year that he's ran has been with a different team. And year one, you had Legacy that found essentially the best way to put it without really digging deep into it. If you don't know, you can look it up of why he wasn't there. But they wanted to find a loophole way to get him out, basically, because they were going to Toyota, and I don't think Toyota wanted Gregson because Gregson started with KBM and Toyota, then went to Chevy. I don't think they liked it. Legacy kind of wanted out. They found an out, got him out. Then he goes to Stuart Haas, and then Stuart Haas closes and rebrands as Haas. He's out. Then he goes to Front Row, and then now they just don't even have charters anymore.
Yeah. Talk about a really crappy hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I like him, and he's one that, like, you don't really want to ever see anybody once they get up to Cup go back down, but, like, if he had to go back down for a year or two, I wouldn't be too mad at it, honestly.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it might help him.
That's true. I mean, who knows? I mean, we started off the season saying he was going to be coming in hot, but as we see.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of my, like, bold hot takes.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it was. But then also people after COTA, which was like, what, the 4th race of the year, were like, is SVG going to win a road course? And it was like...
because he didn't win the first one. Everybody was like, oh, my, he sucks.
Oh, my God, he's not going to win a road course. The guy who literally has spent his whole career on road courses.
Yeah.
And street courses. The man is in his mid-30s. He's a V8 Supercar champion, multi-time, correct?
I think 3.
3-time,
I think.
whatever. If we're wrong, add us, whatever, you know.
Nobody has yet, but...
Nobody has yet, but
You can.
you can. Please do. Do it. Do it. Do it. But yeah, no, I mean, that was a big thing at the beginning of the season. People were like, is he really going to? Now we're sitting here with him with literally getting to the most.
I mean, he's tied for the most wins in the series.
Yes, and then also he's got the most career wins fastest out of anyone ever.
Like, he tied Jimmy for, like...
He went
he went above? Okay.
He tied Jimmy at Chicago, and then this week went above it.
Okay. Yeah. You're right.
So, I mean, are we witnessing the greatest road course
Probably
in NASCAR history?
Definitely the best since Jeff.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I do think that if you took a this was like a topic I heard a lot this week. If you took like Marcus Ambrose and put him at that time, if we were running the next gen car,
yeah,
people were saying that they were like he would have just as many wins as SVG.
And I think, and like, again, like, I kind of give the disclaimer every time I talk about SVG. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I think if you put him in the Gen 6 car, Chase Elliott was going to probably walk away from him. It's, circumstances that help, like having the next gen car that races like the supercars that he was running. Yeah. But, like, I mean, given the cards that are dealt and what is to be played with right now, he's in his own zip code. Like,
literally. I mean, he finishes Mexico. The margin of victory was what, 16 seconds? Like something crazy. He finished his burnout by the time second place had made it into the stadium section of that race.
And then, like, which we'll get into, but, not to take away from Cup already, but I'm going to. He flipped a stage and won the stage.
Oh, yeah. No, well, that's all we'll say about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later because that was insane. Anyways, is there anything else on news or is that it?
The last thought I'll give for news is with the charters being repossessed, it opens, Pandora's box, if you will, of just a world of different scenarios and wild possibilities that could happen if they are to be resold, because you could just have NASCAR being petty and resell the 6 charters to the teams and then make them double pay for charters and be like, how do you like us now? Or you could have them being like, no, we're not going to play it that way.
We're not selling them to you, period. Yeah. You're going to have to run it open.
Yeah. And
I don't know, man.
Then you have a lot of teams. I mean, if there's 6 charters open, you already know Rick Ware wants more, Legacy wants more. Then RFK probably would have a solidified third and not have to lease it anymore.
Yeah.
Then you open the possibility of like
Your one-car teams.
Like one-car teams could jump to 3.
That's the thing. Like what I don't want to see happen, because you need while you have and you need your big teams.
You still need small teams.
Yes, and the thing is, I feel like if you look at like Hayek, who has 25 staff members, I think is what I've heard before.
Yeah, something like that.
And they go and double in size, and they can't do it. It's like, okay, you're these small. It's going to be like the death of the smaller teams. Like,
yeah.
You know,
I mean, because way back when Hayek was JTG Doherty, they used to be a 2-car team back in the day. Mm-hmm. They downsized to 1 over time, and then that got sold, and now it's Hayek. So
yeah, so it's like the smaller teams. I think they'll be like, oh yeah, we can afford it, and then they afford it, but then they can't perform for it, and it's going to be basically just a waste of money, and they're going to go bankrupt and have to sell, and then they sell their one charter to, I don't know, if every car becomes a 3, or every team becomes a 3-car team, then I mean, there's nothing. I mean, they're not gonna. I don't know. You get what I'm saying, I guess. It's really going to be an interesting off season.
Yeah, and then we know too that there are 4 charters that are still being like held lock and key by NASCAR for when the next new OEM comes in and they have a 4th manufacturer. There's going to be 4 charters up for grabs for the teams that run the new car.
Totally off topic completely, but we were talking about charters, and when I hear charters, I always think about, you know, different numbers and everything that have been famous, you know.
Yeah.
Joe Gibbs has said that they still own the rights and everything to 18.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're holding out for Brexton to make it to Cup and put him in the 18?
EB, but, and I don't know if it was more for just the show of it all, but like Brexton got the little RCR contract where they were supposedly have the rights to him when he gets old enough because Kyle coming over. But the other thing, too, is, like, Kyle is arguably the most famous to run the 18, but, like, you did have Bobby Labonte back in the day run the 18, and, like, JGR, like, started with the 18 pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know. That was just an interesting thought that just came across.
Yeah. I get that, though.
Yeah. I could see it. I mean, who knows? I mean, we see Chase and Bill's old number, so.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows where we're going with that one. But I believe that's all we got on news. So now we are going to get into the Xfinity race. This will be probably a kind of short one. Not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Blake, what we got?
So you have no natural cautions. The only cautions in this race were for stages. Brandon Jones wins, or Sam Mayer wins stage 1. Brandon Jones wins stage 2, which was his 3rd stage win of the year, and all of his stage wins have came in the last 4 races. I thought that was pretty interesting.
He's had a pretty good little streak going on, for sure.
And, so I think the one thing that, you know, through, you know, doing the research and watching and everything for the Xfinity portion of this episode, I kind of, like, I want to see how that race could pan out with no stages.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm not against stages. Like, I've learned to like them, and they've kind of just became, like, ingrained in what NASCAR is now. But, like, for road course purposes, okay, you know, lap 20 and lap 45, you're getting cautions. So then you strategize the race backwards, and then you figure out how long can you run, how can you split it up perfectly, you know, and then you have everybody flip stages, different stuff. Well, if you don't have stages to flip, okay, then you may not see Sam Mayer or Brandon Jones win a stage. You might still, but, you know, or even if you just don't throw the caution, but you award points at lap 20, at lap 45.
Yeah, I think for road courses, that definitely isn't a bad idea.
Just because, like, historically, you go back and watch, like, old school NASCAR road course races, like, they were very, very strategic. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't know when cautions were coming out, so you really had to roll the dice and plan your race out, and then if something happened, adjust or stick with it, depending on where the cautions fell and whatnot. But, like, yeah, I do understand from viewership and for newer fans or even older fans, you might have been like, this race is boring. This race sucks. There's no cautions.
There's no wrecks.
Everything's just spread out. Like, I get it. I do. But I don't know. I just think that would be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
But, I mean, ultimately, this race there was 2 races. There was Connor Zillich and SVG Racing, and then there were everybody else.
Yeah.
Interesting stat on Zillich. He has now led in the last 8 races, which is the longest streak in the Xfinity Series this year.
Wow.
So I almost know this isn't a hot take. I'm sure a lot of people have been thinking this, but like, is he your championship favorite at this point?
I think it's definitely one to be considered for sure.
He's really came into his own on ovals.
Yeah, no, seriously.
And it didn't take very long. Like, yeah, earlier in the year there were some struggles and there were some stumbles here and there, but like, it almost kind of feels like around Rockingham he really just like hit the uptick.
Yeah, I want to say that he said in his interview that out of all of his Cup Series starts, Atlanta was the first time he actually finished an oval.
Yeah,
which is an interesting stat for sure.
So, yeah, you have Zillich win this one, and which I said last week that I thought Zillich was going to win mainly because it was going to be between him and SVG, and then I felt like because of the way Chicago went that he was going to win because even if he had to, he was going to use him up. It didn't really come to that. They raced each other really hard, really clean.
Yeah.
And honestly, they led about the same amount of laps.
Yeah, no, I thought it was funny that I saw a clip of it because I was doing, I can't remember what I was doing. I did not watch the Xfinity race. I'm sorry.
Casual.
Shut up.
Fake fan.
Shut up. So I saw a clip of they were racing, not quite side by side, but they were doing something, and SVG just goes out the window, thumbs up him.
They got into each other a little bit in 11, and they were like really pushing each other's break points. Mm-hmm. And then they had got side by side ish coming to the start finish line, and you just see thumbs up out the window, like mid race, driving the road course with one hand. Is that not the most SVG thing,
bro? Like,
another thing I remember from watching it. Now that you say that, I don't know why this sparked it, but at one point your top 3 was SVG, Zillich, and William Sawalich. And they were like, and I think Sawalich even got around SVG at one point. And they were like, if you take and you add up Zillich and Sawalich's age, you get SVG because they're both 18 and SVG's 36.
That's hilarious.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, SVG just keeps doing stuff that's just like, like how we talked about, everybody at the beginning of the season freaked out after Coda, and they're like, is he going to do anything? But he keeps doing things that just remind us of how much of a badass he is.
Oh, yeah.
Like the thumbs up.
Yeah.
The flipping a stage and winning it.
Yeah. And I also really like, historically there are people in NASCAR now that, like, they have a personality in the car, out of the car, off the track, whatever. Yeah. Well, like, he is very fierce. He's very aggressive. He's in your face when he's in the car. And then he gets out of the car. Nothing phases him. He's not going to be mad over anything.
Just super chill.
Like,
yeah.
Him and Zillich race hard all day, and he goes and congratulates him in victory lane. And
yeah.
Like, I feel like that's how it should be,
Yeah, no, I mean, he just seems like a driver that I would want to be friends with.
I mean, like, when I met him, now I did meet him literally at his
I'm referring to the fact that I was trying to meet him in the Xfinity garage, but he was. We saw. Okay, backstory. Last year for Fall Atlanta, I know Blake's like, good Lord, another tangent. Last year, Fall Atlanta, we had Xfinity garage passes with Big Machine. We love you, Big Machine. Thank you so much. I feel like every time I say Big Machine, I have to be like, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Not that I have to. I do really think y'all are awesome. But he ran out of his hauler wasn't too far down from Kligerman's, and he ran out to go use the bathroom. And then I was like, oh, I'll try and catch him when he comes back. And then he came back and ran back. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
But I did get a picture with the quad lock car.
Yeah. When I met him, it was, so Atlanta follows Daytona weekend. So it was his like second full-time week being a NASCAR driver. And I just had walked in the garage area on Friday because that was when me and Lily had won with Penske. So we had all weekend access to every garage. And he's just in street clothes, and I'm just walking in. It was literally like walk in the garage is to the right, and I'm like, oh my God, that's SVG. And I was like, hey man, how you doing? Do you care if I take a picture with you? And he's like, no, that'd be awesome. Let's take a picture. Thumbs up. I was like, good luck, and like just went on his way. And I was like, that was wild because like
he just really seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
But your top 10 from Xfinity. Zillich wins the race, like Blake said. SVG, William Sawalich, Nick Sanchez. Nick Sanchez has been doing really good since Atlanta, honestly.
Which sometimes I feel like when you're like, not that he hadn't been doing good all year, because I think he had shown glimpses before winning Atlanta where you were like, okay, he could win for sure. I could see it coming. And which another thing too is like I feel like he's won very early in his career so far in truck and now in Xfinity, like almost ahead of schedule, if you would. But like I think that spark of like, okay, we actually can win. Like we're bringing really good cars, and now he has that confidence. Then you look at the races after Chicago, top 5 or top 10. I know he was right around 5th.
Yeah.
And then you have a top 5 at Sonoma, and what I gathered from hanging around the Big Machine people and like his mom and everybody was he doesn't have a favorite or a least favorite track or style of racing. That he just if he's good there, he likes it. If he's not good there, obviously he's not going to like it as much. Yeah. But he always likes races where he can kind of set sail and run his own race. So like road courses make sense for that.
No, that definitely does check out.
And it was funny because I think he wouldn't come out and say that he doesn't like drafting track races and stuff, but like you don't have a lot of control. Yeah. And he doesn't love not having the control.
That makes sense.
And then he goes on and wins.
Yeah.
But
so 5th place you had Riley Herbst. Honestly, didn't even know he was running this race. I mean, also I didn't watch it. Sorry, guys. Anyways, I need to stop saying that. Justin Allgaier, Taylor Gray, Carson Kvapil, Sammy Smith, and then Mr. Second Place, Sheldon Creed.
So half of the top 10 was JRM cars.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, beginning of the season was like RTR runs Xfinity. Now it feels like JRM is really kind of...
I mean, they're like in their own zip code at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's good to see Sawalich put a whole race together because he showed speed this year.
100%, yeah.
He just hasn't had the luck or has caused something or gotten into something gotten into something that was not of his doing. And another thing too is like at least for me, I always forget that he's 18.
Yeah, that's the thing that like I feel like with
and
a
like
lot
Zillich too.
Yeah. A lot. Zillich, you hear him talk, you'd be like, that guy's not 18. He's at least, 25.
He's been around the block. He's been in the sport for a while.
Yeah,
first full-time year.
Yeah, literally. Freaking crazy. But yeah, no, seriously, like, a lot of these guys in Xfinity are extremely young. I mean, but they're still putting together these kinds of finishes. Like, the future of the Cup Series is bright.
Yeah, and it's also really impressive that you're on the same team as Justin Allgaier, and at times you've kind of like overshadowed Allgaier this year.
Yeah.
Because, like, you go to tracks where you're like, oh, Allgaier's going to win. He's really good here. Yeah, he still runs good, but here's the 88.
Yeah.
Who's the only one that has something for the 7 this week? Oh, here comes the 88. Like,
yeah. No, 100%. So, on to the Cup Series. So, this race, like, stage 1 and 2, I'm not going to say uneventful, but sort of. I mean, no cautions. Yeah. I mean, Ross Chastain wins stage 1. SVG wins the pole. Surprise, surprise.
And I believe in stage 1, SVG flipped it and finished 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah. Then stage 2, SVG, once again, reminds us how much of a badass he is. Flips the stage, goes back out there, and wins the stage. Passes none other than Kyle Larson.
Yeah. And I think the thing, too, is, like, you were like, okay, they flipped it. SVG's probably going to kind of chill and get a good finish.
He, like, moved Larson.
Yeah, well, I think what happened, honestly, was they were like, okay, so we're going to flip the stage and we're going to relax and we're not going to overuse our stuff so that way we're good for the next. Oh, wait, hold on a second. So you're telling me that we're running competitive enough lap times to, all right, full send, go ahead, get to Larson, get around Larson.
I mean, it was nuts. I mean, can you picture Cliff Daniels over the radio like, all right, we're going to get some stage points.
Like, we're literally not going to flip the stage here so we can win and get the playoff point. Where the hell did that 88 car come from?
No, just, I always pictured Cliff Daniels to me kind of sounds like Barack Obama a little bit sometimes when he talks. It's like, he was not supposed to do that. Sorry, Kyle. And
yeah,
but yeah, no, I mean, gosh, I mean, we
that's
said
got to be a first.
We said it last week. Someone needs to do a wellness check on Kyle Larson.
He's just there.
He's just there. Yes. What has happened?
I'm not fully like against it either, though, because like,
I mean,
it got annoying at points.
No, for sure. But it has been nice to not have to hear about Kyle Larson for
like
a while,
a month.
Yeah, I mean,
give or take.
Yeah, since Indy. Indy was like the start of it.
Yeah.
Indy as an IndyCar at
like
Indianapolis, Coke 600 weekend. Yeah, no, it's been crazy. I mean, he's, regarded as the current best NASCAR driver that is there. And like, I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying all of that before I get the Larson, the Larson
which
jock
at the rate we've been.
That's true.
As much as I've bad talked like Logano and other people, and we've had no fan bases come at us, like
we did have Logano.
Well, okay, yeah,
like
that's
one
fair.
guy,
yeah.
But yeah, either way, yeah, like I mean, what's going on?
He's having the
summer slump.
He's having the Byron summer slump.
Yeah,
that Byron is kind of. It's weird. Byron's having it, but he's not. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean because he's still having good finishes. If he's not having DNFs.
Yeah.
So, lap 62 is like your first actual caution. Blaney and Bush are battling it out, and Blaney ends up up on the hill, off the track. I saw someone in iRacing was like, the only way to stop SVG, and it was that hill,
and
but
it was Hocevar.
It was. They were. I didn't even notice that. That's hilarious.
They took Hocevar and jumped the hill over, and then like just obliterated SVG's car.
I'm like, was Blaney trying to do that?
No, I think I sent you where somebody was. It might have been in that Denny Delivers like thing.
Oh yeah,
but like where they were like Blaney's trying the Hocevar move or something.
Yeah, no, it was.
Which that was just very unfortunate because, like, obviously Buescher didn't mean to do that.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't. They were just hard racing, and they got. I mean, they both almost wrecked.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It just so happened that Buescher was on the inside, Blaney was on the outside, and if you're on the outside in that situation, you're probably going around.
I think my favorite meme from that was that one guy leaving the car meet saying, "Watch this."
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's fitting. He was driving a Mustang.
you have a point. If it's going to be somebody, it's going to be someone driving a Mustang. So then lap 96, Cody Ware loses a tire. And that tire, good Lord. I don't remember who it was, but I
think it was Nemechek.
Yeah, it was. It came within, like, it looked on the broadcast like inches from him.
Yeah, which in reality was probably like a foot. But...
Yeah. I was like, is anyone going to stop this tire? And the whole time I'm like, whose tire is this? Whose tire is this? And then, like, they showed it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, the wheel was gold. Of course, it was Cody Ware.
And then what I found interesting about it was, like, so the wheel comes off at the top of the hill. No caution, no caution, no caution. Rolling down, rolling down. John Hunter Nemechek almost hits it at speed, and Lord knows that would have sent that tire flying. It would have been dangerous. And then they wait till it gets to, like, the apex of the next turn, barely misses somebody again, and then, like, we should probably throw it as it's rolling out of the way in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
No, that didn't.
Shades of Chicago.
Sorry, guys.
Bless you.
Yeah, no, literally, like, the consistency was there, just not the right kind. But yeah, so you had that. Blake, do you know more about what happened with Gregson than what I have written?
So it was like,
I feel like you could probably give a little bit more better detail than I can.
well, first off, that car got absolutely demolished.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was, yeah. He was in the group that, like, stayed out and was part of the, I guess, the buffer of SVG and Briscoe to Elliott and Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that group that's, the buffer, if you will, and then you have fresh tires. So they're not going to be able to go as fast as fresh tires. Fresh tires are coming, and then it just turns into a total crapshoot, and then you get into, I believe it was like 7, right before the S's, like where they have the big, like, turtle curve. I think it was Brad that got into him. I don't 100% remember.
That
I know it was
sounds right.
like, it was a 3-wide situation because Elliott was behind them, like, charging hard, and they knew, okay, we need to sort this out between us before he gets to us. And so they made it 3-wide. It wasn't going to work. It obviously didn't work.
Yeah.
He gets spun, and then, it's just stack up, and then cars going left, cars going right.
Yeah.
Somehow I do feel like Josh Berry dumped Eric Jones after that.
He didn't dump Eric Jones.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
he did
okay.
there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. He dumped Eric Jones, like, as they were throwing the caution on the way out, because Eric Jones dumped him last week at Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Barry dumped Carson Hocevar. Thanks. That was like...
That was so uncalled for and just random.
Yeah. It happened. I'm like, are you doing this for the community or what?
Like, what beef do you have with him?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I have the opportunity.
I'm going to do the funniest thing ever here at the end. Yeet.
Yeah, just... like, Hocevar was shaping up for, like, a pretty decent day.
Yeah, for where he started and kind of the whole... I don't know. It felt like he was going to salvage a pretty good day.
Yeah.
And then Josh Berry just, like, goes off on side
Nope.
quests.
Yeah. He said, I'm Leroy Jenkins. Yeah. And
yeah. I don't know. Like, throw a fun word in here. Just, turns into a full scallywag, if you will. And just
a kerfuffle.
Like, yeah. Like, go off, I guess.
Yeah,
it was so... I don't get it. It was just so random.
Yeah, I will say, I'm a Hocevar fan. So, like, I wasn't thrilled by that by any means. I didn't have any reason to not like Josh Berry.
Yeah.
He's just always been kind of there, But, yeah, no, interesting for sure. Then the last thing that really happens is, like, Chase Elliott gets off track and ends up losing one spot, but it looked like he was at least coming for Briscoe's spot. He was probably going to be...
I think he was going to have a race with SVG. I don't know how that would have turned out because SVG was still putting very good lap times down on old tires. So there's two things I want to talk about on this. One, I didn't love the idea at first because I just thought in my head the way Chase's luck is, okay, you're going to give up third, you're going to come down to pit, you're going to come out where I think like he came out 13th. So then I'm like, you're in the hornet's nest. Who cares if you have fresh tires? You're going to get wrecked and it's just going to ruin your whole day. Didn't happen. He gets up there, pushes really hard. I mean, as he should, gets off track, and then at that point, he couldn't even get back to second, which I thought he at least had second wrapped up, like you said. But the other thing that made no sense to me, if you're Briscoe, you have a win in the bank. Yeah, finishing second is good, but like, why do you not pull down pit road? Pull everybody else for the most part, other than maybe like 3 cars, 4 cars, give or take. Mm-hmm. SVG has a lot smaller of a buffer of cars to hold everybody up. And then, I mean, he had speed, Elliott had speed. You have the two of them and Ty Gibbs even at that point on fresh tires with less cars in between, able to try to run SVG down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a situation of like, let's just stay out. We have tires. If we stay out, less people pit. Maybe they were trying to just be part of the buffer and just come home second and call it a day.
Yeah.
But then speaking of Ty Gibbs, you have, so it was weird. You see the incident on pit road at first and you're like, oh my God, that's terrible. That was on purpose. The broadcast then defends him, and then they show a very favorable angle for Ty Gibbs. And then you're like, oh, okay, I see what we're talking about. Like, still not a good look. There still probably was a little bit of aggressive intent behind it because Ty Gibbs is known to throw little baby tantrums.
He's got a history.
Yeah. And then in the week, RFK shows their video from not the guy that got hit, but the guy behind him. Well, got hit is a little strong.
Hit the tire he was holding got clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see both sides of it. I listened to a clip of TJ Majors talking about it where he was like, yeah, I mean, we do, like, as everyone, like, they try to disrupt pit stops if they can. Like, they're kind of trained to go out a little early and make you have a interesting approach angle. But, like, yeah, Ty Gibbs did have the right of way there. But, like, when you watch it from the RFK guys, he's turned in, and then he turns even harder.
Yeah.
And then turns back. It was like left,
yeah,
a little bit right.
Yeah. It was definitely a little... The thing is, NASCAR isn't going to do anything about it unless he comes out outright and goes, I meant to do that. Like,
or if he actually just straight up hit the dude. And
yeah. Just if he absolutely creams him, then, like...
Yeah.
You know.
Which, I mean, I did see some people where they were like, well, RFK was over the wall too soon. Yeah. And then, I mean, I get both sides of it. It's a very fuzzy, very gray spot, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think that this week, if a RFK car, especially Keselowski, can pick the stall ahead of him, they're going to replicate that, and they're going to try to push that pit crew back even farther.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if there's an on-track racing for position towards the end and you see Ty Gibbs get dumped by RFK car, nobody should be surprised.
Yeah. No, I definitely could see that. So, SVG is your winner. Your top 10 was SVG, Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. A few little interesting tidbits from the top 10.
I thought you were about to skip over him for a second.
Oh, no. I will not skip over these. This is the first time Red Bull has been in victory lane since Casey Kane in 2011. Thought that was interesting.
Yeah. At Phoenix, I believe.
Yeah. Also, the SVG's burnout this week was, like, I mean, top tier. Yeah. Like, that was so dope.
I still will prefer Xfinity SVG burnouts over just because he can drift that car around the track a lot better.
It was still super cool.
I mean,
him dragging the wall, high-fiving everyone as he's doing it. I'm like, this is so
he knows how to celebrate and get down.
So Christopher Bell has finished 16th or worst in 4 out of the 5 last starts. Let's go, Mr. Sliced White Bread.
I saw a TikTok the other day that reminded me of me and you. I forget who it was, but this guy was like, "Who's one NASCAR driver that you just can't stand, and there's not even a reason why?" And then you swipe to the next, and it's just a picture of Christopher Bell, and I was like, "Yeah,
accurate." Yeah,
like I don't know what it is.
he's just boring.
I used to like the guy, but like something about. I don't know if it's JGR or Cup or what, but
it took me coming into the sport being like, I think this guy's boring. You're like, yeah.
Well, I think what really just soured everything was the Coke 600 last year.
Yeah, that's fair.
Again, he didn't do anything wrong. He was leading the race when the rain came, but I was on vacation. It was gonna be my first Coke 600, and I didn't even get the whole race. And then Bell won, and I was like, are we being serious right now? I don't know.
And then you had Briscoe getting his first top 5 on a road course, which was cool to see for sure, which we mentioned that one earlier. But yeah, that about wraps up Sonoma. Any other thoughts on Sonoma?
I think overall they were good races.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
especially considering that like there wasn't your conventional NASCAR action, honestly.
Yeah. It was a good weekend. But as majority of you know, I assume that if you listen to this podcast, you're a NASCAR fan, so you know we're in the middle of the mid-season bracket tournament, and good Lord, the final is going to be somebody named Ty or Tyler.
Could be.
No, no matter what, there will be a Tyler.
Yeah. Okay, I see what we're saying. Yeah.
Because I mean, Ty Gibbs is Tyler Gibbs, unless it's like Tyson. I don't know, but
I have no clue.
And then but yeah. So you got this week coming up the semifinal,
the round of 4, if you will.
Yeah,
you have Ty Dillon and John Hunter Nemechek on one side, head to head, and then the other side you have Tyler Reddick and Ty Gibbs. So you have 3 Toyotas left. You have 3 drivers, in all honesty, that this would just be their season. Like this is almost their championship in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you have Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
Like, I almost, in a way, wish that there was a world in which we could see Ty Dillon and John Hunter Nemechek go head-to-head in the final for the million. Just because I feel like they could use it a lot more than the other two.
Well, let's be honest, with 2311 losing
now
their
Tyler
charters.
Reddick could use the million. But I did say last week, in a non-joking, like dead serious, I did say Ty Dillon was going to win this.
I think at this point Ty Dillon is going to win this somehow.
I mean, he was there with Bowman at the end, and he showed that last week that, I mean, he's not going to wreck you and destroy your whole day, but he's going to slide you out of the way.
Yeah.
And I think Dover's going to be interesting because none of these names pop off the page that, like, oh my God, they're a threat to win at Dover. I think they're going to be in the thick of everything.
Yeah.
And also, I think now is almost where we're going to start hearing or seeing more of, like, Ty Dillon and his team are going to be like, well, where's John Hunter? Where they run in? What's their strategy?
Yeah. This is where I think it's going to actually come down to, like, it's going to actually have some effect on the race itself.
And again, I don't think it's going to have an effect on who wins it.
No. Placement for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, interesting wave that this is shaped up since Atlanta. Yeah, no, definitely cool.
I really do just have a weird feeling that Ty Dillon's going to win this.
Yeah, there's some guy that's called into Door Bumper Clear that said that if Ty Dillon wins it, he is going to go and streak and climb the catch fence at Indy.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, that would be hilarious if he did that.
Imagine.
Dang, that guy must be a big Larson fan. Nope, Ty Dillon fan.
Or imagine there's like multiple people that do it now because
that one guy, yeah.
And now nobody knows who the guy actually was.
We don't know who to get mad at. But yeah, so next week we're at Dover. The good old Monster Mile. The big old
Miles the Monster.
Miles the Monster.
Concrete.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good race.
I'm excited because when looking at who the previous winners were, and I won't spoil that because of the way that we're going to do this next part. But this is the latest in the year that the next gen has went to Dover. Normally it is ran in, I think 22 and 23 it was in April, and 24 it was in May.
Yeah, you're right.
So
it was in May.
I wonder how temperature is going to affect this race. Like, our tires going to wear a lot more?
Yeah,
you would think, because it's concrete.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. But we come to you guys every week with some paint schemes, our favorite and our least favorite. We do this every single week. If you're new here, welcome to the Trekker Chat. Blake, what you got on your favorite for this week?
Okay. My favorite for this week is John Hunter Nemechek's Hertz car. Hertz rental car, whatever. It hurts. I don't know. I typically am not the biggest fan of gold. Usually it is wheels, but sometimes it is gold on a race car. Something about this I like. I can't put my finger on it. I couldn't really explain it to you. I saw it and I was like, you know what? That's nice. I like it. Also, I would like to put a disclaimer in here that at the time of recording, Kyle Busch still doesn't have a paint scheme.
And there's supposed to be something special for
so
this week. Who knows?
That could be our favorite, but per the way that we do this, it's not going to be.
Yeah. So my favorite this week is Bubba Wallace's Space Force car. This car, the black and the gray, it looks sleek. It looks cool. I love this car. I'm not going to say it's my favorite car of like all time by any means, but it's really cool. I mean, out of all the somewhat mid cars that were on there this week, this one was definitely my favorite. You know, not every week can be Atlanta. Not every week we can't have a eat my Cinedust car.
Yeah.
But Blake, your least favorite?
Ty Gibbs Monster Energy.
Shocker.
This literally, I'll give you my thought process. I'm scrolling through on the NASCAR app and I'm looking. I had multiple in the running to be my least favorite, and then I said, you know what? He tried to kill somebody on pit road last week, so Ty Gibbs.
Fair. My least favorite is Blake's favorite. John Hunter Nemechek's Hertz. I just don't like this car.
I thought about picking Bubba Wallace's to be my least favorite, just as like that
the stab. We just sit here stabbing each other for this whole thing. Yeah, no, this car, it hurts to look at it. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But ping. But yeah, so that's our paint schemes for the week for Dover. On to the past next gen winners.
All right. So, in the 3 times that we have been there in the next gen era, 2022, Chase Elliott was your winner. That was a really good year to be a Chase Elliott fan. I miss those days. Moving on. 2023, Martin Truex Jr. That was on the weekend where Ryan won Xfinity, Martin won Cup, so that was a good Truex family weekend. And then 2024, Mr. Dennis Hamlin.
Dennis Hamlin. That's funny. Yeah, no, it'll be interesting for sure because I feel like Denny's been on a little bit of a
cold spell.
Yeah, a cold spell for sure, slump if you will.
Yeah.
But
this could be a week where we see 2 people that we've talked about this week that are sliding, that are on bad weeks, bad runs, bring it back and start momentum. And those 2 people would be Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson.
Yeah, no, you definitely they're some of the more favorited for this weekend for sure.
I also could see Byron breaking out of a slump here.
Yeah.
Now, I will say none of those 3 that I just named are either of our picks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see we could sit here and have a conversation and you could convince me that one of those 3 are going to win, and I could probably agree with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. So with that, we'll get into our picks for this weekend. Xfinity for this week, I went with Ryan Truex. Sorry, the history. I think he's gonna win. That's just me.
Yeah.
Blake, who you got for Xfinity?
I went with Justin Allgaier.
Good pick.
The main reason I didn't go Ryan Truex is his first 2 wins were in JGR equipment. This is going to be in Sam Hunt Racing equipment.
True.
He doesn't run all the time. I think that the equipment fall off could play a factor in him not. I do think he's still going to run good. I don't know if I could confidently say he's going to win just because of the difference in equipment. And honestly, I'm picking Allgaier for the same reason that what I just mentioned with Cup. He hasn't won in a while. I could see this being like his
spark
to make a run towards the playoffs and kind of put his name back in the hat.
Definitely. So Cup, I chose with my heart on this one. And no, I did not pick Blaney.
In a way, I also did. And no, I did not pick Chase.
I went with Carson Hocevar. This dude has been on the cusp of a win almost all season. He's had a interesting past few weeks. I think that he is kind of going around a little bit with kind of a chip on his shoulder, just with everybody being kind of,
I mean, and now you even have Josh Berry dumping you.
Yeah, especially after that. I feel like that was kind of like, here's the final straw. And then I think he's going to win this week. So, Blake, who you got?
So, my pick, I have a Hendrick driver winning. Shocker. I have Alex Bowman. If you look at history, he has, I think, in the next-gen car, his worst finish was either 11th or 12th, and he has 2 top 10s. He's been there. Well, no, he missed a year because, so he has 1 top 10, 1 11th or 12th. The other year, he was out for injury, and Josh Berry got a top 10 in the 48 car. That's what it was. Somebody else I will say to watch for is Ross Chastain. He has run very good here in the next-gen car.
Very true.
But I don't know. I think that before the playoffs start, that Bowman is going to get a win.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I feel like this would be a track where you could see it because Hendrick historically has done very good here. We have one Hendrick driver that has won in the next gen era. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it just looking at stats and just going off of just feeling.
Yeah,
it's Bowman. I don't know.
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, it's probably gonna let me down, but
yeah, no. I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I say, somebody's got to win.
Yeah.
So
as long as it's not Dennis.
Yeah. But is that all we got for this week?
Yeah, I believe so.
Cool.
If there's not anything else you'd like to add.
Yeah. You wanna close us out?
Yeah. So, like we say every week, leave us some comments. Tell us how you feel. Tell us how wrong we were. Tell us how right we were. Tell us that you hate Chase Elliott or you hate Ryan Blaney. Something. You can follow us on our socials. We have Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, or X, whatever you would like to call it. We have a YouTube channel where we post our full-length podcast episodes that you can watch. We also are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and Audible. Really anywhere that you get your podcast, we are at. And this has been the Checker Chat for this week. My name is Blake.
I'm Justin.
And we will see you guys next week. Bye.